communicate to another person if they've never been taught. So, yeah, we've gone way off topic.
Yes, yes, yes. You can if you have any other point to mention, like I am curious, as you told that you were hunted, like people tried to attack you, kill you, or so. Who are unhappy?
Oh, I've had death threats and I've had all that if I publish information that they don't want known. Yes,
Yes, yes,
that's happened many times.
yes. Means
It's like,
the people
the
are
old,
who are doing business using this information, they are unhappy that you are teaching people about this abstract subject and the technique to
instinct.
understand and process the information.
How to learn to listen with your skin, how to learn to listen with your body, and then how to interpret that information into pictures and sounds that we can hear. It's everybody can learn it because everybody's doing it all the time, even if they're not paying attention. Everybody's doing it
Hmm.
because we cannot function in life if instinct is not running. So it's just a matter of learning to use instinct more.
Hmm.
It's not anything mystical, it's not magic, it's not weird, it's all perfectly natural, and it's all very provable by concrete science physiology.
Hmm.
Like if a person we did hundreds of psychology studies and we did hundreds and hundreds of neurology studies
Hmm. Yes.
where we could prove that this information is happening,
Hmm.
just like have anybody stand on a street corner
Hmm.
that is hooked up to neuroscience uh, sensors, and when somebody walks up behind them, there's ripples of information, electromagnetic radiation that ripples through their skin.
Hmm.
And there's a straight line of light goes up your spinal cord, and your pineal gland lights up like a laserian light show.
Hmm.
And it's only because you quietly walked up behind them and they can hear you. They know you're there. And this information is happening all the time in everybody.
Hmm. Yes.
The only difference between me and people that don't know about it is that I've been taught.
This power, if somebody develops, then it can be utilized also for evil purposes, isn't it?
Love?
To some extent, means say somebody like the thought reading, somebody is thinking, they are typing passwords, so they are remembering, they are speaking inside their mind about the passwords, they are
Yeah.
recalling, they are typing it. So if somebody has a power, they can read the passwords or secrets from their brain waves.
You can partially. You see, thoughts, in order for me to read every single thought and every single thing in another person's brain,
Hmm.
I would need more than one brain to do that
Hmm.
because my brain is carrying on. keeping me alive.
Hmm.
So, as far as reading people's thoughts,
Hmm.
that's not a correct way to think about it. I can read and I know what a person's intentions are.
Hmm.
I know what emotions they're feeling because it's a chemical expression. It's a sound, all emotions. Everybody can feel fear.
Hmm.
Everybody everybody can fear or feel
Hmm.
love.
Hmm.
Everybody can feel if they are accepted.
Hmm.
Everybody can feel if they are wary. Everybody can feel emotions.
Hmm. Yes.
But as far as keeping
Right.
up to knowing another person's every thought, I've never known of anybody that can possibly do that.
This question actually came to my mind because I have seen some consultancy services. They help people to recover private keys and passwords of cryptocurrencies they lost, they forgotten, they have misplaced. So uh, this
That's
is
hypnosis.
yes, yes, hypnosis, yes.
Yeah, you can with hypnosis recover memory.
Hmm.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
But you see, um, you can help a person through hypnosis recover memories that they can access, but it doesn't mean that a person can access another person's memory.
Hmm. Yes.
I can feel what they experience when they access a memory,
Hmm.
but I can't see or I can't be them. All I can do is interpret how they feel about it and their reactions to it.
Hmm. Yes.
But I can't access another person's mind directly. I don't believe that anybody can do that.
Of course, they don't guarantee, but they take the charges, consultancy fees, and they have
I
that
would have to
session.
have more than one brain to be able to do that
Yes, yes.
because
And
my brain's busy keeping me alive. So I can't use all of my brain just to listen to another person's thoughts.
yes.
If I do, I die.
Hmm.
I don't believe that reading minds is real. I can read the expression. As I said, our body is just an accumulation. We are trillions of chemical expressions.
Hmm.
That's what our cells are, is organic chemical expression.
Hmm.
They all emit sound. I can feel and interpret what another person experiences, but I cannot access their mind.
And another point
That's different.
coming to my mind, like, say, have you experienced teaching this subject to the children?
Yes. And they tune right in. They love it. Children just latch right onto this because children, from the moment before they're even born, people have already decided who they're going to be. And then from birth, we're taught the word. What's the number one word we hear the most? No, no, no. Because you're not being like, we're taught to be somebody we're not.
Hmm.
We're taught to be an imaginary version of our parents' self. And it's it causes a great deal of confusion
Hmm.
in children.
Hmm.
Where if uh, I understand, you know, being if a child uh, tests the border of being cruel to another person, you're going to tell them, no, don't do that because you're hurting yourself more than you're hurting the other person. So I understand that, but children have a lot of feelings and a lot of thoughts that they're not allowed to share with their parents because their parents have this big responsibility on them that everything their child does, they're responsible for. It makes things really difficult, and parents, if they're guilty of anything, it's trying too hard. They're trying too hard to give their child the easiest life, the least amount of stress in life, as and big fears about what the world is going to think about their child and judge the parent for it, which is wrong, which is so wrong. It's not real. But that fear is ingrained in our society everywhere. Everybody's afraid of what everybody else is going to think. And if we got rid of that, half our problems would go away, I'm sure. But children love to talk about their feelings and their instinct, and they love to talk about things that they felt, and they've got this information. They all have it. They all have a vast amount of information they're not allowed to share with anybody. All children have this.
Okay.
And they latch right onto it, and they just pay attention right now. Like, I've taught young children, I've lectured at universities, and when I'm talking to young children, trying to express to them a concept, a thought, teach them something, right?
Yes.
And they're not getting it. Well, I'm sorry. The last thing I would ever tell a child is that they are wrong because they're not getting it. I will look at a child and say, do you understand? And if they say no, then I will say to them, well, how can I change to accommodate how you see it so that I can be a help to you to perceive it? What am I doing wrong? I'm the one that's not presenting the information properly to the child. If you present the information properly to a child, every child will learn it. And every child has a different perception. So the teacher is the student in order to succeed as a teacher. You never ever tell a child that they are wrong because they don't see things the way you see them. That's just going to put up a wall, and it's going to create a problem of communication. You don't tell the child that they're wrong because you told it to them wrong. That doesn't work. And when I ask a child, well, how can I change this so that I can accommodate you? And then, when you look at a person and they really focus, tune in, pay attention, it looks like a person is sitting back inside themselves, and you feel their focus. I can get any child to do that just by acknowledging that they are 100% my equal, and I know evolution. Children are born more intelligent than I will ever be.
And there is another situation when a student lies. even they don't understand, they say that yes, I understand. Then the teacher has to have that ability to make out from the look or some other
How they
senses
are perceived.
that
Yeah,
uh, he or
that's
she
right.
has not understood.
Well, if a child doesn't understand and continues to not understand, well, then the teacher is the one that's not paying attention.
No, I'm saying that.
Because
No, I'm saying that a student
every child
says, "I
wants to
don't.
learn.
I understand." I mean, it is a lie. Even without understanding, some student says, demands. I mean, they claim that they understand.
Oh, the child claiming to understand, but they actually don't.
Yes.
That is because they feel being judged.
No, that is the
They
reason I
feel
am
being
saying that.
judged by the teacher. They feel being judged by the other students,
Yes.
and they don't want to appear to be less,
No.
which
Yes.
isn't true,
Yes.
and it's never true.
No, it is true.
They just interpret. You can test.
Yes, the
I,
teacher.
I
Yes.
ask the
Yes.
student, do you understand? And they say yes. And I say, okay, well, explain it to me how you understand.
Hmm. Or
And if they can't explain
some
it, then I
student.
know they don't understand.
Yes, yes, and there is another situation. Some students, they don't say whether they understand or they don't understand. So the teacher has to find out from the face
Yeah.
that they understand.
Well,
Hmm,
what I do is I get one student to teach another student.
hmm,
I say, well, if you understand this,
hmm,
then I want you to teach this person it, and get a student to teach a student.
hmm. Yes,
And if they can't teach the student, well, then they don't understand it,
yes,
because they don't know how to communicate it so another person can interpret it.
yes.
So, um, a teacher doesn't talk to students like an instructor at university. Like instructors, they talk at the crowd.
Yes.
That's all they do. They talk at the crowd. And then if the crowd gets it, great. If they don't get it, too bad for them.
Hmm,
But a teacher
hmm,
asks questions.
hmm,
And if a student doesn't understand something, they actually might understand it and they don't know they do.
hmm,
So you start asking them questions.
hmm,
And if you keep asking them questions, they will answer their own questions.
hmm. Yes.
They will create their own understanding. They will create their own teaching just by asking them questions.
Hmm, yes.
Because the child was born more intelligent than I am. Otherwise, evolution is over.
Hmm,
So I can teach practical life skills to a child. I can teach them to how to get along in the world that the human society creates.
hmm,
But I can't teach them how to communicate to themselves.
hmm.
That's their instinct.
Yes.
I can explain how I communicate with myself and I listen to my instinct and how I interpret information. And I get a lot of information that most people are not aware of only because someone taught me. But children are the future.
Yes.
They're more intelligent when they are born than I ever will be,
Hmm,
or the human race would end.
hmm. Yes. So, Kevin,
So,
this is a
mhm.
topic. I think it is a very uh, deep thought, and it is probably a topic that links psychology with physiology, and the
Yes.
difficulty is that our psychological self and our physiological self um, is are not simultaneously visible by the external world,
People
of
are
course.
not really taught who we are and what we really are.
Hmm.
In schools, they do not. Where in school do you learn instinct?
No, no, it is
Where?
no.
Nowhere on earth
It is a self-learning.
do they
Yes.
have a
Hmm.
class
Yes.
where they teach instinct. I find that bizarre.
Hmm.
I find that absolutely ridiculous because without your instinct, you're you're not listening, you're not paying attention.
Nothing can be learned without instincts. Yes, from the inside. Yes.
That's correct. Yeah. Well, if your instinct isn't running, you can't talk. You can't learn how to talk. You can't see. You can't hear. You don't know you're hungry. You can't eat. You don't know you're thirsty.
Hmm.
Your instinct is running all the time.
Hmm.
But how to pay attention to it and learn to use it more and more and process more information. And like I said to you, I know thousands of people, not a few, many thousands of people that I can sit with and have a conversation with no words.
Hmm.
And in 5 minutes, we can communicate back and forth what takes 2 hours to do with voice.
Hmm.
We communicate at such a it's vast amount of information,
Hmm.
but it takes a long time to say it with words.
Hmm. Non-verbal
And there
communication.
are there are hundreds of thousands of people that do this every day, all day, that interpret and communicate, and we don't need words. We don't need that.
Hmm. So this can be this is a part of actually teaching every subject to children, like psychology. And do you think that schools can include an additional class, say once in a week, about self-realization or fun in a fun way? So in the
Well,
curriculum
if
also they can take it.
yeah, I think we should have a physiology class for grade one.
Hmm. Hmm.
Absolutely. Say to people, listen, you need to learn what your body really is.
Hmm.
Our skin develops before our brain. That should tell you something.
Hmm.
You see, during gestation in the womb, skin develops first,
Hmm.
then teeth, then nails, then hair.
Hmm.
All instinct.
Hmm.
So, skin is the biggest organ. It's the very first organ to develop, and skin is developed before we have a brain or a heart. It's very important.
Hmm. Yes. So
It is our instinct. Our skin hears all the information coming in and all the information going out.
hmm.
Our skin is an antenna.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes.
So, yeah, teach our children what the science is of instinct. Absolutely.
Hmm.
They'll put together how to use it. They'll put together how to use it all by themselves.
Hmm.
If we just teach them what the ganglia mass is and what the vagus nerve is, what the pineal gland is, which is a crystal. based non-ionizing nuclear processor.
mm,
If we teach our children these things,
mm,
they'll put it together how to use it themselves.
mm,
You know,
mm,
teach instinct. Absolutely.
mm. Yes.
If we do that,
Mm,
the human race will take a leap ahead in evolution because what we teach in school is the same mistakes that last year learned and the year before. We're teaching mistakes that people learned 100 years ago.
mm,
Why are we repeating that?
mm. Yes.
Why would we do that?
Yes.
We want children to make new mistakes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
In school, everybody makes the same mistakes from a restricted set of values.
Mm,
Everybody has to learn from one textbook.
mm, mm,
Everybody has to learn only what the teacher is telling them.
mm,
Okay?
mm,
That's a very limited,
mm,
and it's a repeat.
mm.
Year after year, we keep teaching children the same mistakes that have already been made.
Yes.
Why would we do that?
Mm. Yes. Yes.
You see, I put together a program where we could advance the learning curve of every year by 30 years, let's say.
Mm.
Average classroom size 30 students, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, instead of the teacher picking the textbook,
Okay.
the students pick their own textbooks.
Okay.
Give them a list of 50,
Okay.
and each student picks a different textbook.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year,
Mm.
the student, see, each textbook
Mm.
has a national average and it's a benchmark
Mm.
of 150 questions that can be asked of any textbook, correct?
Yes.
That's a benchmark, it's well known.
Mm.
Okay, so the student creates their own final exam by understanding what questions to ask.
Okay.
And every question that they can find, they have a larger understanding than memorizing it, memorizing information and then forgetting it.
Okay.
Because that's what happens when the teacher picks the textbook and says, these are the questions you need to answer. Students will memorize the answer, and then as soon as they get it right, then they forget it because they didn't get to think of it. If you want your students to learn something and keep it in their memory, give them ownership.
Yes.
Give them ownership and control of their own learning. And we did this, we tested this in Ontario with a district of schools where we would give them a list of 50 textbooks for each grade 1, 2, 3 through to grade 9,
Okay.
grade school or grade 8,
Okay.
grade school.
Hmm.
And the learning, the SAT scores of all these students jumped 300%.
Okay. Okay. That is
Their
great.
capacity to learn and what they learned, they leaped ahead of everybody else
Okay.
because they picked their own textbook.
Okay.
And now you have 30 textbooks, and
Okay.
all students talk. They all talk to each other, and by the end of the year, all 30 students know all 30 textbooks. And when they did their SAT scores, they blew everybody's doors off.
Okay.
They were way advanced.
Hmm. Yes. So it is coming to also as a learning curriculum, like this applied. I consider it applied psychology. Am I correct? If I consider it applied psychology, this topic under applied psychology.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So then a learning curriculum may be evolved utilizing these knowledges about applied psychology and maybe taught to the students from their early age in the school.
Yes. Teach them physiology,
Yes.
the physics.
Yes.
Teach them how our bodies work, why they work,
Yes.
what are these feelings that they get, and how they actually are a chemical expression. All behaviors are a chemical expression.
Hmm.
If a chemistry reaction doesn't happen in the brain, we can't move our fingers.
Yes.
If a chemistry reaction doesn't happen in our brain, our eyelids can't. We can't open our eyes.
Yes.
Explain the physics of physiology,
Yes.
and they'll figure out how to use it all by themselves. They're going to do it with or without you anyway.
Yes. Yes.
But absolutely teach them.
Ye-
Yes.
Yes. So at the
Awareness.
end, no, I mean we are talking, and you are also giving a long time. So to end this today's interaction, the first interaction we are having from the influencers group, and you kindly agreed. So can you give a very short one or two sentences like about this subject, or three sentences, a very brief, uh, so that at the end, if somebody wants to uh, understand at least the topic heading, so what you.
Well, premonetic ability,
Hmm.
or being able to interpret more information that most people are not there. Most people, everybody gets all the same information. It just depends on whether you're focusing and you're listening.
Hmm.
So premonetic ability is just living your instinct more. You're learning to listen more. You're learning uh, to hear more information. You have more awareness of yourself. But it isn't anything mystical or magical or superpower. All that is not, no, that's not real. Everybody has all the same ability.
Hmm.
Everybody.
Hmm.
They just have not been taught.
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes. So maybe in this very nice uh, chat session with LinkedIn Live,
Uh-huh.
and we'll interact in the future more. And I hope if I can get a short about it, means maybe if I can save it and say publish this audio on the influencers group, is it
Sure.
permitted?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I will show you the recording if it is correctly done, and then we may post it.
Just send me a copy, and then well, I'm sure we'll be fine, because I have no objection to you publishing anything I've said here.
Okay, so I will check the audio and I will share it with you, and the quality of
Yeah.
the audio and other things. Then we may publish it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, next time, let's talk about math.
Okay. Yes. 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 Thank you so much, Kevin, for your time, valuable
Likewise.
time, and I enjoyed learning
Yeah.
something about you emphasize physics, or is it also psychophysics, or is it also applied
It's all
psychology?
physics.
Yes. So I consider it as a physiology plus psychology. So
Okay.
yes, physiology plus psychology. I could get some new information from you. So let us end this session, and we can thank each other for agreeing to talk, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So let us end this session. Okay.
All right then.
Okay.
I've
Bye.
enjoyed your presence.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.